Mark Lewandowski with Pat McKenzie, head coach of the Johnny basketball program. Welcome, Pat. Congratulations on a great win over Concordia Moorhead. You know, they have a term in football, complementary football, offense, defense, special teams working together. I really thought last night or in the game against Concordia Moorhead, the offense and the defense fed off each other. When you reviewed the tape, and I'm sure you have by now, what were your thoughts on the way your team played last night, especially in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great win, and certainly you're trying to complement each other all game, right? And it doesn't always happen, and certainly wasn't happening for the entire game last night. But I thought it helped. We got off to a great start, saw the ball go in early, and that got us a little bit of momentum, and then buckled down rather in that second half, and made just enough plays down the stretch to get out of there with a win.
Baden Bean, we continue to talk about his improvement, and he said something on the postgame show last night is, I wanted to embrace and take over the Pat McKenzie offense. Comments like that would make you as a head coach excited. How does it make you feel to hear a player take the kind of ownership that Baden Bean seems to have done?
Well, yeah, if my offense is him turned into Steph Curry for 12 minutes, then I'm all for it. He just had a heck of a night. He kind of, I mean, between he and Peyton at the end of the game, it just felt like, they just weren't going to let us lose. And he's had a terrific year. I think we talked about it. Maybe he's, I think, third in the country assist turnover ratio.
Yes,
He's playing
5.
really good basketball. And defensively, I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, I think what he did last night defensively, sometimes you get lost in the shuffle of how well he played offensively. He had a great night, and obviously was just critical for us to be able to advance.
Another critical performance came from Charlie Theis off the bench. I think he scored for the first time since late January. He looked more comfortable out there. He wasn't afraid of looking for his shot. Getting a lift, you need somebody. It can't just be Peyton. There has to be 2 or 3 other guys who are going to have to carry the load offensively for St. John's, especially headed into a MIAC championship game.
Yeah, that was great to see. I mean, he's been battling an injury, and some of that is he's finally practiced. So he was on a little bit of a pitch count, and it was this, should we play him, should we not, do we need him, do we not? And finally, he's gotten to a point with his rehab where it was like, okay, you can practice. We don't have to really worry about his knee. It's just we have to worry about his play. And he gave us a huge lift, which was great to see, because he was having such a good year, and to see that, and we needed it. It was that was big.
What does it mean to you that St. John's has been in the MIAC championship game 6 of the last 7 years? Uh, it- how do you feel about that? Great, I would imagine, but what's inside the program? What are you guys thinking about that?
I didn't know that was the case. I mean, that's great. Yeah, I mean, it's better than not being there. It's not as good as winning it 6 in a row, though, or whatever it is. So, yeah, that's the goal. You want to put yourself in a position, and fortunately, we've done that this year where we at least give ourselves a chance. Obviously, we've got a tall task waiting for us on Saturday, but we've put ourselves in a position to at least have a crack at it.
But before we get to Gustavus Adolphus and the challenge that lies before you, compare and contrast, last year versus this year, you had a much more experienced team, so might have been a little bit easier. And not that you didn't do a great job coaching those guys, you did. But maybe this year you look back and you go, oh, we started with very little offense coming back, very little on-court minutes coming back. A harder year for you coaching-wise this year? Maybe the hardest of your career?
Yeah, certainly. I don't think there's any question. And there's a ton of things you take a redo on. I mean, it's been a learning year, and some of it too, as you alluded to that. We had one guy coming back that we knew, and then he gets hurt and he's out for the year. And so you're to some degree building it as you fly. I mean, a lot of these guys, you have an idea, but there's no data, and you don't know. And there's ideas you have, and some of those ideas fit and some of them don't. And so you're tweaking as you go. And then guys have gotten more comfortable, more confident. So it's been really a growth that you've seen. And, to be here again, 1 game away says a lot about the group and their how they stuck together, stayed the course, and continued to improve.
As you prepare for Gustavus Adolphus, you review the 2 games you played against them this year. What stands out about those games that St. John's, let's start with St. John's, is going to have to execute? What are you going to have to do to give yourself a chance to make it into the NCAA tournament?
I mean, I think it always boils down to, taking care of the ball, keeping teams off the glass. That's going to be critical. So both those games, we had some live ball turnovers that led directly to baskets. And against a team like Gustavus, I mean, they're the best team in our league. They have been all year. They're good enough to beat you when you're not turning it over like that. They're good enough to beat you when you're not giving them second chance points. If you do those two things, you're making life awfully difficult and really, really hard to beat a team that's as good as they are.
As you look at Gustavus, and you know the names better than anybody, you've been studying them since last night or since after the matchup with Concordia Moorhead and for 2 games coming in. Who are the key players that you have to try to make life difficult for? Because that's one thing you've told me. You like to, with top scorers, make it as tough as you can for them to get their shots.
Well, yeah, I think it starts with Miles Barnett, who's having an incredible season. He's probably the best player in our league, and if not, he's obviously one of them and having the best season on both ends of the floor. He's just a menace, and then you surround him with some really talented kids. Jake Schmidt is having a terrific year. He can really shoot it. Andrew Quam again presents a matchup. He's an undersized post that can get you inside or outside. Those are their 3 leading scorers. And then you couple that with some kids, they stretch the floor, and they can create havoc defensively. There's a lot to worry about. That's why they're so good is there's enough to worry about on both ends of the floor, a lot of problems that they create. And obviously they have a lot of talent. So that's a pretty good combination.
When you prepare for a game like this, and I didn't see it from St. John's last night. Maybe it was because of the fact that you were at home against Concordia Moorhead. No jitters. I didn't see the jitters that sometimes you get in a playoff game. Now you're going on the road. That's a little bit different environment. I expect it to be hostile when you're going to Gustavus. How do you get your kids in the right mindset when you take the floor?
Every group's different. Every team's different. So, I mean, the short answer is I have no idea. And there probably are going to be some jitters, I would think. The flip side is, you alluded to it a little bit earlier. We've been through some adversity, this team. I mean, we've played, Klinkner just told we played the 28th toughest schedule in the country. So we've seen really good. We've gotten knocked around a little bit. So I think by this time, we're maybe numb to the pain.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, let's just go play. And maybe that is where we're at. Maybe that's why we didn't see the jitters last night.
Well, and it was something, I should have brought this up earlier, but you have alluded to it. Your early season has prepared you. You've won 12 of your last 15 games, which is great with a team that didn't have a lot of experience and before the break was 4-7. I mean, but I think that 4-7 stretch prepared you for the success you're having right now, correct?
Well, I think it had for sure played a part. You hope it does anyways. I mean, that's part of why you schedule that way. Looking back, was it too ambitious for this group? Maybe. But nevertheless, yeah, again, you have to credit the guys. They've stayed together. They've grown. They've gotten better. To your point, coming into a game last night, first time for a lot of these guys to see the floor in an environment like that, in a conference tournament, just play. And then weather the storm. I mean, we've seen teams play really well, put a run on us, and there's not a lot of panic from this group. And so, hopefully that serves us well at Gustavus.
Final question for you, and this isn't more of a question, it's for you to make a statement about your assistants. You have a staff that is super committed. I mean, the amount of tape you guys watch, the work you do with your kids. What is that? If you could, talk about your staff and how they have supported you this year and grown with you with this team.
Yeah, they're the best. I mean, we couldn't be more fortunate to have the group of guys we have. To what you just said, they do care. They put in so much time. It's a long season, and no matter what, and it can be hard. And you spend more time with those guys than you do your family at this time of the year. And so to have a group that you really like and trust and get along with, that's what makes it fun. And so, having Zach this year, who's new, but it's been really fun getting to work with him and developing that relationship. And then DQ and Fogs are the best. They've been here a while now, so you have a feel for each other. Yeah, we're super fortunate to have that group of guys, and they've been a tremendous amount of help and have really helped put us in a position we are here today.
Yeah, a lot of the attention and focus, and it should be focused on you, Pat. You are the signal caller. You're the head man in charge. But I know you like to share some of the credit with your guys, and it's a true family, that coaching staff. I don't think people don't think about that, but they should. Pat,
Yeah,
thanks for the.
no doubt,
Oh, go
no
ahead.
doubt. No, yeah,
Uh,
and it's not. I mean, I haven't, and even those, none of us have made a basket this year. So I mean,
uh,
it's about the players, and you saw that last night. I mean, that Baden that wasn't coaching. That was Baden being a great player. That was Payne Panani. Those are the guys that have done it, and hopefully they got another push in them here.
Good. Time to crash the party. Get to the
Amen.
NCAA tournament.
I'm all
Extend
for
the
it.
season for another
I'm all
week.
for it. That's
Yeah.
right.
Pat, thank you for the time. I know you're very busy this time of year, and good luck against the Gusties.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Thanks again to Pat McKenzie for giving us about 12 minutes of time getting ready for this Gustavus game. Thanks, Pat.